So the angels on the right side were made by a Dutch artist for the loss of men and for them going to heaven because they lost 127 men. So this was dedicated to them, and they covered the feet because if you left their feet, that would make you lucky. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So the Hoover Dam right here, this is a lodge. It used to be an old hotel slash casino called the Hacienda. They had one in Las Vegas as well. So in Boulder City, they were not allowed to have any alcohol or have any gambling. So they just recently were allowed to have alcohol like 15 years ago. So a lot of prohibited construction was here because they had certain rules that they didn't want it to be like Las Vegas. They wanted it to be their own little town here, their own entity. So Las Vegas is 30 minutes away from here. So that's where you go in, what they call the city here. So right over here at Lake Mead, to the right, was the first and the biggest national contract opened by Teddy Roosevelt himself. Okay, so there again, you could get a 20-day pass and stay here without having hassles. The only thing is, if you wanted to go into an RV park, you'd have to pay the amenities. But they don't require that death and passes to stay here in a car or an RV, believe it or not. The right side here is the recreational visitor center, and it just tells you about the animals, insects, and snakes that you're not supposed to be acquainted with. So all these houses were all officials. Started off back in the day as little teeny houses, and now they found some mansions that are by CEOs that actually were So this is like the first largest park here, and the largest man-made lake. The second one, for those if you made it to Antelope, is Lake Powell. That is also man-made as well. That is the second largest one in the United States. A lot of the parks that are government-owned or federal-owned are strictly from the state itself. Anything like the West Rim, that's sovereigns to the Indian Reservation of the Wallapai. And even here we have Paiute Indians, and they have huge, massive golf courses that are beautiful. If you go towards northwest or Centennial. And then also the Paiutes also have recreational smoking, cigarette shops and whatnot near the plaza. Because Mary Stewart, who is, if you go downtown, it's the Stewart Street, it was named after her. And her husband was gunned down by the Kyle family, which is literally like the Wild Wild West here. And so she had to figure out how to make money and take care of 5 children. So in doing so, she owned water rights in her land. So some of the land she gave up and she sold it, and her water rights. We had so many of them. Because the meadows is what Las Vegas means in Spanish. So there was a lot of water there at the time. So after her husband got gunned down by the Kyle family, kids, as they got older, gunned down the Kyle family. It's kind of like a rich thing. But also, Mark Twain was here. It was in Clark, that's what we had Clark County School District. So a lot of old players came here. Desert City. So on the right side, where the pastor's going to say safety time, that used to be the Helps Hall for the migrants who worked on the Hoover Dam. They would make up to 3,000 meals a day, 24 hours. For $1.37, you got a full selection of meals, and for the day, $1.37. They would stuff 4 to 5 sandwiches in the small boxes. Oranges and pies, smash it all together. It was really bad, but they ate it. And besides that, they had 28 toilets behind the Helps Hall. If you go into Boulder City, you're going to see a character with a line of toilet paper and a broom. Guess what his job was? Cleaning the toilet. So So on the right side also there's a small park at a certain time of the day. And then they can walk freely around your yard. You can't touch them. If you touch one or kill one, it's $25,000 and 10 years in jail. Their horns look like sand. Alright, so we also have one of the most largest safety hospitals. I'm going to pass it here in a second, on the right. It has that big building that you have to put those guys on top, which is safety first. That used to be his household. Mind you, 129 degrees, no AC, nothing. Hot. While cooking those meals for the migrants, workers. And it's on the right side right here. It says safety first. That used to be the health law. On the right side we're going to be passing a small train station. And they're going to show you a cart that used to be used to deliver supplies to the Hoover Dam. As you can see, it's very simple. It wasn't anything special, but that would bring supplies into the Hoover Dam. On the right. The only thing that had an AC here in Motor City was a theater. Only 2 cents a watch. So every night the seats were sold. Because of what? AC. It's so much Christmas. That would be the only place that you would see comfortably with some cold. Passing a casino called Railroad Pass. And the reason why it's called Railroad Pass because you had to get a pass from Vegas to come back over here to Boulder, and they had to see if you were drunk, because if you were drunk you weren't allowed to work, because as it was you would get liquor poisoning, alcohol poisoning, and you would die of heat. And then not only that, if you worked in the caverns while blowing up with the dynamite and rocking off the rocks, there was carbon monoxide. So the canaries would die first. That'd give you a hint to get out of there. And a lot of people were getting sick working on the dam because of the heat and not knowing that there was carbon monoxide deposits in part of the rocks. So you had a double whammy. If you drank a lot, you had alcohol poisoning plus the carbon monoxide. Women were not allowed to work on the dam. A lot of people that came over here through the recession were older gentlemen, and they wouldn't take them because they wanted younger people. So they would leave, dye their hair, and come back again to get the job in order to work. And unfortunately we had segregation. We also had African Americans working on the dam, as much as Hispanics. They're all segregated. Caucasians, but they all got along at their own risk. That's what they would say, which is super ignorant. But needless to say, they all got accomplishments and all ignited as they were workers here. We really respect that. And when you go downtown, remember that go there, you Spaniard. What would be a pass? What is an immigrant check? You can submit it either up here or down to Las Vegas or whatever state you were from. You can send the money to them, and then a special someone would get the money, or a special guy would get the money, because the women will work inside the kitchen and they're not allowed to work in there. So, in combination of the railroad pass, there's a small casino. Remembrance of that. On the right side is the version of a hotel casino right now, but it also has the #1 license for gambling. Slot machine gambling. It was card gambling, like poker. Downtown, near the plaza. So all those hotels have a little romance. So like Benny Binion was technically the Benny Binion was also a gunslinger in Texas, in body. So if you go into the Binions, you'll see anything that would give you bad luck so you would win your money. Like upside down horseshoes, upside down sevens, anything that would make you lose all the numbers that would give you upside down. If you ever decide to go inside there, check it out. It's really, it's one of the haunted hotels there too. Because during the time of the mint, it was mob owned. So if you got caught cheating on a card game with a single, what they call a single wire, and that would be underneath the shirt, long sleeve shirt, and that would have the other card that you needed to want to reject out. So then they find you out, they cheated, they take you aside, they beat you up, they take all your winnings, and then if they didn't really like you, they take you in 86 sheet. So that's 86 is 6 feet down and 8 miles away from the city. So that's where they got the security saying 86. So if you don't want to just make cool, we're going to go downtown at the Mob Museum. The Mob Museum at one time was a court building. The mob. And then they turned it into the post office. And then they realized that it was so old, it was really cool looking, the building's beautiful, that they decided to turn it into a museum, mob museum. So I highly recommend that. And then they had the neon light museum as well. The old LED lights, they all show them up. They all still work there, and they show you the modern ones compared to what the old ones used to look like. So they're really cool set up. All the neon lights there. So I recommend the museum there. And then if you want some really good history in scary hotels, Artesian is one of the best ones. It's really scary. And they have good sound and it's very active. If you go to Luxor, they have the Titanic memorabilia, authentic. If you go to the buffet, you can hear children crying. Okay? You can go there, I hear children crying. And then that's because they're right there in the museum. Okay? So that's another haunted one. Another one is Circus Circus. Anybody staying at Circus Circus? How about the Venetian? Well, MGM has a lot of ghosts there too, because it used to be Bellers, from MGM down to Horseshoe. It was a hotel that caught on fire. And then in order for them to avoid having to pay the insurance and people that died on it, they jumped out the windows, the elevators, they could, and would die. So they tried to avoid paying. So that was the courts. Even the Mandalay Bay, the shooting, you guys remember the shooting at the Mandalay Bay? Okay, so they made that room into a conference room because it's not, it's prohibited to be used as a room to sleep in. Now we're back to the beautiful Las Vegas. Has anybody been to the Piers? MSG Players? Where they had a concert there from the U2, and now we're going to have the Eagles there at the concert. For a tour, it's $85. Okay? It's pretty reasonable. It's really nice. It's lit up beautiful at night. The only complaint is if you go anything above over the 200 seatings, you get vertigo because of the way it turns around. It's really nice. If you could stay between 1 to 20, you're going to get a nice view and you will have the photos. It is very beautiful inside. So if you go was saying, on the right side is a military base, an Air Force base as well. So they have a lot of unique planes coming out at night. They only play with the toys late at night. And it's prohibitive. You can look at on the right side, there's not anything that's growing there, but if you look at it at night, it lights up. Because it's a lot of activity at night. So that's all military. All the way to the right side where that plane's passing. On the other side of that little
inside stuff,